Vodafone presents the pre-match.
ESL 1 Katowice 2019 continues as we head into our third series of the day. Welcome back to the analysis desk. We've made a few changes of our own here at the desk as we welcome Kyle and Capitalist back alongside our stalwart Nahaz on the end. How you doing? All right?
Good.
Looking forward to the third series?
Definitely.
Yeah. In theory, it should be a good game, Kyle.
Yeah.
Two good teams. I know they've had some ups and downs with form and been a bit inconsistent here and there, but generally, you know, high-quality players.
Yeah, and I think experienced. The captain specifically.
Been there, haven't they?
Yeah, OG just straight up outclassed their competition. They asked her. I don't want to talk about the memes that have been made, but asked her certainly in the doghouse at the moment, and it was just a strategical victory. Like, there was really no hope. I was talking with Matt about it. I'm like, what the hell was that? They picked Lycan and the Monkey King. He was just like, I don't know, man. I can't do the French accent properly, but
I don't know.
PPD.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a little bit overrated.
That no, that's
not quite.
Huh?
Closer than Kyle's.
I wasn't trying. Look,
Sure.
PPD knows how to draft. Nip is not going to get blown out like Aster was. And I think at the very least, we're going to have something exciting with hopefully a bit more kills.
All right, we're going to start talking, Cap, about NIP to start with. How did you rate their group stage? Because on paper, everyone said they should be the second strongest team. And they did end up being the second strongest.
Yeah.
But it wasn't easy for them, was it?
No, it wasn't. There was definitely a time where it looked like they were actually going to end up third. I'm not going to say it was like disappointing because they still ended up second. I think that going into this tournament, I thought they were a team that could have actually taken their group. Maybe I didn't estimate Fnatic's strength correctly. Maybe I thought they were a little weaker than they actually are. They've come into this tournament so strong. So I think that Nip, the group stage went, I would say, just kind of pretty good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
didn't exceed.
All right. I want to get your thoughts in a moment, Alan, for NIP, but I'm hearing that Shiva has found PPD, so let's hear from him now.
Yes, indeed, I am here. I'm here with Peter. Peter, before your match, last time we talked was actually yesterday. And I first want to actually start with, we talked to you a lot, and I really like talking to you, so don't get me wrong here. But we never get to talk to any of your teammates. Why is that?
My teammates are shy gamer nerds, and they usually don't leave their bedroom. So this is doing interviews is way out of their comfort zone.
But this is like, you know, we're in a pretty safe environment. This is not super scary. I mean, they might have to do an interview on stage.
You know, maybe you should try and convince them next time. ESL didn't do such a good job.
All right, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. Last time we talked, it was yesterday, and it was right before your match with Secret, and obviously it didn't go the way you hoped it would. How did you spend your time with your team yesterday evening and this morning to prepare for today?
You know, that's the thing is, you know, we thought maybe we would need to prepare a lot, but then we saw that OG won, and we've played them so many times that we're so familiar and comfortable and used to beating them, so we just went out for pizza instead. And, you know, we're looking forward to maybe doing the same tonight.
I am so happy to you know, have you back in your old self. Welcome back, sir.
Yeah, we got a nice little rivalry going here. Me and Seven Mad, best buds. But we're both TI champions now, so it's going to be a nice battle today.
Yeah. So did you prepare? Is it like anything special that you got up your sleeve?
Oh, well, we got to watch their games this morning, so that's a bit of an advantage for us. And the meta is it's kind of funny because we have MDL going on at the same time, and there's lots of good teams at both tournaments. So both tournaments are watching each other, and we're both kind of creating a meta at the same time while not actually versing each other. So, yeah, we definitely prepared some things, and I hope they work out.
I hope so too for you, and I hope actually at some point we're going to get you and Matt on both sides, and you know, a little back and forth would be nice. But perhaps Ari can take care of that. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Next time, though, I will try to steal one of your teammates.
Best of luck.
Anyone that I should hunt for? Like, who's the most vocal in your games, for example?
That's Fada for sure, but he's the most anti-interviews.
I was going to say.
It's not going to happen.
I'm going to do my best. All right, good luck in your match, and back to you, Paul.
In many ways, he takes the pressure off his team, doesn't he, by doing that? I know you did that back in Complexity, didn't you? Was that for the same reason as him, or was it because you genuinely wanted to just let the guys focus on the match and you take all the weight of all of the PR and that stuff?
Well, on one hand, I think me and Peter both kind of enjoy giving interviews.
Really?
It's just,
that's a shock to me.
I grew up watching sports, you know, and my team, your team, like, I know exactly what it is. They're like, I don't want to do it. Make Kyle, you do it. And I'll be like, guys, I've done the last like 7. They're sick of me. The community doesn't want to hear from me. They're gonna say I'm like an egotistical jackass or something. That's totally not true. So,
Wait, you said that the community doesn't want to hear from me, So then you
Over and
turned
over
and
again.
decided to
do every
talent
event this
and
year. Yeah.
show up on camera even more than you were before.
The difference is now I'm invited here, okay? So it's proof people want me. When we were qualifying,
That's true. That's
it's
true.
just like a groan, like, oh, not again. Unrelated.
You think the viewers are like, damn it, Complexity qualified. I have to see more Kyle. You think that's how it was back then?
The thing is, they were always like, I think the teams we would play against were always like way more popular. That's all.
That's true.
Like
That's true.
that we were gonna to get to spots, we'd have to beat like Optic, or Immortals, or EG, and there was one other team that I can't forget that was pretty good. VGJ Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like
Quite a few back then.
Yeah.
I was going to get your thoughts, Alan, before we went to the break, just very quickly, because I want to hear from No Talent in a moment. But what are your thoughts on the NIP? How have you rated their tournament so far?
Well, I think Peter said it first in that interview, though, that there's a lot of history between these teams. NIP has actually taken the last 4 meetings between these two teams in the Bucharest Minor and just recently in the major qualifiers and really looked like the better team. But going off what Cap said before, NIP, I would have put in that, when I asked this morning, who are the 6 best teams, NIP were the team that as of the beginning of this tournament, I might have put in that 6th slot in terms of my best teams in the world. I think Fnatic has not only moved clearly ahead of them, but I think Gambit might have moved ahead of them as well. NIP have looked shaky at this event.
All right.
It's not an
Kyle's
overreaction.
doing some maths over here.
yeah, it's just one.
I know.
What kind of
Hold
list
on. Let
is
me
this?
see if I can see if you can telepathically stick this one in right. Virtus Pro, yeah. Okay, Team Secret, yeah. LGD,
No.
EG.
EG's got to be
Yeah,
number
okay,
3,
EG's
Paul.
third. Yeah,
That's the whole point.
right? Okay.
And no LGD, no, not without maybe.
He's on break. He's not retired.
Not after what we saw after that at that last
All
event.
right,
And then
What
I'm
do you mean?
I'm just
No
going to
way.
let these
They
guys.
didn't they finish 3rd at the last major?
I'm just going to let these
Kyle.
guys carry on. And whilst we do that,
Right,
we'll let
Gambit's
them
probably
get it out
better.
of their systems. And instead, let's hear from No Tail.
Feeling good, a little bit of pressure off. You know, it was the first stage game. But yeah, feeling very good. It was 2 very good games from us. Igor today just told us over and over again that he's feeling no pressure, he's feeling fine, so that's what it is. Get your head in the game. I think right after we sat down for the first game, it just clicked for him. The Tops and Monkey, I mean, they had some issues with what they wanted to ban and stuff. They ended up giving us a lot of the heroes that we really like, and I don't know, like the Thompson show, mid lane. I don't know what happened there. I have to watch the replay. Well, NIP is a very good team. I'm always excited to play, and this is going to be main stage. They've been showing some good stuff lately, and I'm just not really sure what to expect from them. It's always the same rule, just 1 game at a time. Don't look too far ahead. Don't look at how far you have to go. 1 game at a time. Keep your head down. Just keep trucking. Keep working. If they tell you have to play another game, you just have to play another game. So far, so good. It was Friday morning. I don't think we got the full turnout yet, but I'm very excited. We were back here for, I want to say, my 3rd or 4th time. Always happy to be here. Polish fans are great. Dota around the world.
Fantastic. Thanks for taking the time out, No Tail, to speak to us in between, of course, the series that they won this morning and their series ahead against NIP. And he said in that interview, Alan, it was the Thompson show this morning. Are we going to get more of the same?
They better hope so.
Yeah.
As he jokes about it on his stream, it's either Thompson or Flopson, and that's been a big part of the season. We've said over and over again already, OG is not a team that's been able to thrive this season when the opponents have taken Plan A away. And a lot of the time, most of the time, that Plan A has been Thompson.
Yeah, and you would say, Kyle, I would assume that NIP have the tools to be able to do that, don't they? In both draft format from PPD and in terms of play styles?
Yeah, I think coming into this event, I would have considered them medium favorites, but I actually think I'd give OG a slight edge just based on the momentum, the way they've sort of figured out their own style. I think ILTW's kind of come into his own, and OG are finally comfortable playing the Dota that they've always done best, which is basing their lineups around this one guy, usually, that is the win condition, like that troll game. You know, that was vintage back when they had Ana. Who's the guy that carried? Oh, Miracle, obviously. Like, you know, you could give him a troll and just pick 4 heroes to buff him, and he would just win you the game.
Absolutely. Good old 4 protect 1.
Indeed.
Aren't you kind of concerned that that confidence is off of a win of a team that's in a different tier than Ninjas and Pyjamas, for sure? I mean, Aster is, I would say, pretty low down there compared to...
Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to take any. I don't want to make any hard, like any hot takes until I've got a better idea on which way the wind is blowing.
Requires more data.
No, in all seriousness, I think that's right. I mean, I think if you were grading OG for this tournament, you have to give them an incomplete so far because we knew that they could beat teams that they're better than. That was never a question.
Professor Nahaz. Professor Nahaz in the house. Thank you very much, gents. Going to get more from all three in just a moment. But it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce you to both of our two teams.
Here we go. PPD spitting out some fire, going out for pizza instead of preparing for their match against OG. Will that confidence shine through? Will they be getting their way? Let's find out as we welcome our first team, NIP! Please welcome to the stage, NIP. Ladies and gentlemen, their opponents, let's welcome back OG. Ladies and gentlemen, your final series of the night. Will NIP continue to get their way, or will OG show them why they are your current TI champions? Your final match, NIP versus OG.
Yes, indeed. Teams getting ready on the main stage. Of course, we'll let them settle. It is our final match, our final series of the night. We do have 2 more days, of course, to go, complete with the upper bracket between Team Secret and Gambit still to come. Lower bracket round 3, lower bracket finals, and of course, the grand final as well. What's got you, Kyle?
We can't say.
You are such a
The
juvenile.
viewers saw it.
What? Come on! There's so many signs in the crowd. You had to pick that one?
I didn't see the sign.
No, it's not.
I was focusing on my job, Kyle.
So was I.
Okay.
It's a program. I'm supposed to watch the screen and comment on what I see.
Yes, you are.
Is that the job, Kyle?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's get some comments then on these two teams as they match up. How do they match up?
Can we talk about the mid matchup? That's
sure. Let's do it.
What I'm most interested in is how, you know, I think it's a potential advantage for NIP. Just the fact that they have Fada, who's a very oppressive mid laner, who, considering his hero pool, heroes like Viper, who's coming back, and then Razor as well. Like, I think those can be good heroes to shut down Thompson's early momentum, right?
Yeah, and just the style of player that he is, right? He was a pretty hard farmer at points in his career, but more recently, he's been more a player that he likes to take the other core away. And I think you want that kind of a player against Thompson.
I mean, let's put it this way, Kyle. It's like, I think that Fada's the kind of player in mid who's always kind of look for that special vulnerable spot and just hunt it down nonstop.
What? Oh my God! Panel comment of the year.
Kyle, can you please focus on the mid matchup? I'm like, you're supposed to be the smartest analyst here. I need your feedback on this.
God damn it, Cap. So I agree. The way I think you got to handle Thompson is to ensure that you give him a matchup that he's just not comfortable dealing with, something like new to him.
Do you know who my favorite mid player ever is?
Something stimulating.
Can you stop? Can you please stop? I can never keep a straight face. It's been my problem my entire life. And then Cap's just sitting here,
Get out of the
stone
comfort
cold
zone.
and handsome. Huh?
New experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to take Alan, just start talking, man. Buy me 4 minutes.
One of the things that I wanted to fly coming into the series, NIP has played 23 out of the 30 games in this patch on the Radiant side. They're a very Radiant-heavy team. And the meta has evolved in this tournament quite a bit. We've seen second pick really become incredibly powerful. Very good win rate overall, including 15-6 for second pick Radiant against first pick Dire. That's going to matter a lot when we see the draft priority show up here.
And I can agree with that, too. I think Radiant's just better. I've talked about why, like, cast after cast. But when you look at second pick, after the change so that the turn in the second phase is ban into pick.
And teams have gotten so much better at using that.
Yeah, it gives you 2 elements to abuse. And I also think that as second pick, it's actually just easier to craft a draft because you go in with different set openers in mind. As first pick, it's very difficult because what you want to take first overall is dependent on enemy bans.
Sure.
And then as second pick, it's just like, well, they're going to pick one of these 6 heroes, and we're going to do this or this or this.
And I also think it's you know, we saw for a long time, and we talked about this a lot at CQ, that it felt like for long stretches in 7-2-0 that there kind of was no cheese. I mean, Brood was out of the game. Teams weren't picking Husker as much. It feels like that cheese is back, so that the advantage of the 10th pick overall is back a little bit more as well.
Yep. A lot of teams are saving it for their mid as well.
5 seconds remaining.
I was glad solo mids are back. I know.
Well, I mean, how many nerfs did it take, right? I am, though, I gotta say, going into these drafts, I'm looking a lot at the Magnus. OG are riding a 10-game win streak on that hero. It's proven so effective for them in several games in this tournament.
Yeah. I'm looking at Lesh. I think that hero is busted.
Yeah, it's really looking good.
I think Nips
rushing Atos on it. Oh my God!
I told you.
You did. You did.
I was so upset. Who is it we were watching? Oh, yeah, not the Flame, but like Universe. He never bought Arcane Boots. And he went drums into Atos, into like Ghost Scepter, Sanj, Kaya. It was just really weird. I think that hero is incredible because if you itemize, like you have to itemize in a way that you just kind of ramp up. It's again, you do so much damage and you just buy all these items that give you survivability along with a bit of utility. It's perfect for this patch. You also do massive amount of structure damage.
Bounty Hunter ban. This is, by the way, I love this Razor ban opening out from OG. Fata, the winningest Razor player in Pro Dota 2 history, and what Cap was saying about tops, about Fata being a player that can kind of play these lane dominators, take tops in a way. Razor is something definitely featuring in that.
Do you guys think Viper is just a passing fad, or do you think he's actually strong? Right, because it's just this small little window that he's become popular.
The break mechanic is still not as understood as other concepts in Dota.
Okay.
It's part of why I feel like Nyx is back, because there's certain matchups, like when PA used to be very good against Nyx. You're a natural BKB buyer. Yeah, you would proc his Carapace with your dagger, but it would still apply the slow, and now you're leaping on top of him, right? Whereas now, Nyx has this extra bit of offensive capability because you remove the mischance for 4 seconds.
And I think in talking about the Viper, I think teams are players are relearning how to play Viper because he used to dominate lines behind his orb, and now you're seeing Nether Toxin getting used early.
This is exactly what I mean when I say second pick, by the way.
Oh my God,
you see Lifestealer, I guarantee PPD has discussed, if they go Lifestealer, we're immediately going to get Ursa, and they pick a support Rasta I quite like. I think it's one of the best heroes in this patch, even though Aster lost today running it. I don't blame Baboka on the Shaman.
It's the most picked hero now in the tournament. Rasta has surged ahead of the Juggernaut, and I can't say enough. I love this Ursa because even if it falls behind, it still does its job. It's still this hero damage engine as long as its team has control advantage. Yes. The Rasta gives you 11 seconds of single target lockdown. It gives you the ability to push objectives.
Yeah, and I know that OG love the Coddle. I'm not a huge fan of it into Rasta specifically.
Rasta?
Because Ursa can ult off your Blinding Light, natural BKB buyer, and in addition, I think that heroes that can apply just team fight structure from their ultimate or just an ability like Tombstone.
Ursa kills the Wisp.
Yeah, but you don't really counter initiate properly because your Rasta is going to be dropping wards on a tower. Coddle, you don't really mess with that. You still don't want your team to invade in the middle of roster wars. It's the same reason I like Undying and Phoenix against Coddle.
You know, you were the one that taught me this, and I think it's absolutely right, that you want to have these ults that you can just drop on top of the ball.
It was just something that OG used to do, old school counter, when they were up against enemy Undyings, is they would pick Phoenix. And sure, you might be weaker in the laning phase, but you're very good at just sort of equalizing, stalling, and eventually you hit 6, and egg trumps Tomb.
So do you think if they're picking Coddle and they know this, do you think if they're doing this that they're just thinking of going a really team fight heavy lineup so that they come back and pick something like a Phoenix or pick a bunch of stuff that they can then drop on top of the wards and just try and win that zone?
Possibly. I think I'd look at like something like PL if they didn't already have Lifestealer, but I think
Coddle is still just like one of the better laning.
Let's not overthink this.
It's still a great hero, don't get me wrong. It's easy to read in too much to 5 positions and those relationships because really, you could argue it's like the least effective part of your draft. It's kind of just comfort.
And that's the key, right? OG has gotten this incredible production from their 5, and you saw the three best 5s for No Tail banned out by NIP. They prioritize that Coddle there.
And I like watching these teams draft just because, like, OG, you know for a fact that they expected NIP to ban these 3 heroes. Maybe they would have thrown in like an Ember Spirit or something weird, but Chen, Ench, Furion, those are the OG bans. And they take out Bane and Razor, 2 incredible matchups against Lifestealer, and insta-pick it. So both squads obviously prepared for the opener, and the real draft kind of begins in this second phase ban stage. Because now it's more open. You know, the tree trunk gets like slimmer and there's more branches and you can go in so many different directions that it becomes more about the creativity of the individual drafters, not just what they wrote down on paper.
What do you pick against Ursa?
Well, you buy 4 staffs. Heroes that peel are quite nice. Yeah.
You've talked about it so often, Kyle, in some of your casts here. You want to have that poke against an Ursa.
Kunkka is great against Ursa. I love that. It's not the greatest. I mean, mid matchup kind of goes both ways, but anything that because Ursa's got big abilities in the BKB and his ult. If you can force him to use ult in an engagement, like just to cleanse something or just to like reposition real quick, he's just dead if you catch him. It's a lot like, you know, blowing up PL's doppelganger. You know, similar function.
I feel like whenever I see these Ursas in the drafts, I just look at it and I go, like, God, it just feels like such a low cost. Like, we've got this Ursa versus Lifestealer. It's so cheap just to be able to say, hey, we've got this 1-to-1, you know, should be okay. But then we're also eliminating so many other heroes that are just hard to run now against an Ursa. All these melee heroes.
Well, I like it a lot because it always does something in your draft, and especially as Radiant, you want to have a way to kill Roche effectively.
Right.
Because we've seen it time and time again. Between like the 10 to 18 minute mark, the Dire side invades Radiant jungle to clear the tier 1.
Yeah, and the Radiant side says thank you very much.
And they run and do Roshan. And the problem is when you don't have this hero like Ursa that immediately gives you that objective, you're now just ending up trading evenly and not abusing that side advantage. It's why Radiant has, what, 58% win at this tournament so far? Like, it's been that way for years.
And then the coupling with Shadow Shaman, like, besides everything else that Shadow Shaman does for you, it's ensuring that it's going to take those towers, right? You have a guaranteed way to easily take the safe lane tower. Probably you're going to be taking the mid tower pretty early. And that kind of opening leaves easy Roshans for Radiant side.
I think you could look to Shadow Demon on NIP. Shadow Demon, maybe a Wyvern, or
I like Wyvern a lot. I'm not sure about the Shadow Demon. You want your 2 supports to be Rasta? SD?
Not really. I'm just trying to think of what they would do here. I feel like it's going to be a Saksa Shadow Shaman for sure.
Oh yeah.
PPD probably just going to pick some kind of lane dominator.
I think PPD. I think he could pick. I think he could pick Undying, although it's not my favorite against.
I want to see Naga support come back.
Well, there's your support.
There you go. It's similar, like it's the same concept as the Wyvern and the SD though.
Do you turn around for Jug with your next pick then? Safe lane Jug?
It's pretty nice. It's very, we'll see, because then you commit the Ursa to mid lane. I guess you could offlane it as well.
No, that's the thing. We've seen so much value offlane Ursa.
I think you just pick a side laner though. Save your mid for last no matter what. So you could go Jug, but I think your draft's a bit rudimentary if you go that direction. You don't have any natural playmaker, and you're reliant on winning your lanes in order to, like...
Especially with the team fight potential that I think is coming from OG, that kind of locks you down into very skirmish-oriented heroes. You're not going to be able to win that one big fight.
Yep. I think if I'm OG, I'm still looking at Leshrac, man. I love Yul's buyers against Ursa as well. Just more kite, more ability. Like he pops ult, boom, throw him up in the air, then stun him. Very good against Lich and Rasta because you just run on top of them.
Can kite the Ursa around.
Exactly.
High natural
Great synergy
speed.
with Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Well, this is Seb we're talking about. I immediately look at like, well, maybe it's not Centaur right now, or Slardar, right? Slardar was
I do
a
like
prominent
Slardar.
duo with a Lifestealer.
I like Earth Druid a lot here too. High reach and delivery for the Lifestealer. Whenever I see two super squishy supports.
Well, okay. Again, the question about you are OG. You are playing against a melee core showing on the other side. What do you pick? And it's so important, right? That this is the classic time that you pick that 2-4 flex, right? They will run that
And
as a support
that
Monkey
dream
King.
is dead.
What?
It's not going to be Jerix's hero. It's highly unlikely.
10 seconds
Okay.
remaining.
We'll see.
I know you want it to come
We'll
back,
see.
but if Baboka's not playing
5
it,
seconds remaining.
Okay.
come on.
Baboka's just not been. He's not been anywhere near Jerix's level, and they have run it recently.
Dude, no one was near Jerix's level 4.
It's Jerix's most played.
Here's
last month,
here's
by
the
way.
solution for NIP. It feels awkward in combination with the Ursa, but
It's-
this is your team fight reply.
I don't know about that one.
What?
Isn't that weird?
It's a nice counter pick to the Lifestealer. It's like the traditional counter.
Yeah.
It's
But
very
I
weird, but
hate it with Ursa. I hate when you
yeah,
have
that's what I said.
double melee core that are both.
I also hate it against Coddle.
Yes.
He literally
Kyle,
can
you're-
drop the Will-O-Wisp inside of the Chronosphere, and he can blast you out of your own Chrono.
Yeah. All right, no, I think we were saying the same thing there, buddy.
I don't know if I like that either, though. It's all right.
Why?
I really
Pressure
wanted to
the
be a
mind.
4-position Monkey King. For
I do
multiple
too.
reasons,
I do
but
too.
mostly just for Kyle
might
being
be
so
now.
adamant.
I'm scared.
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
isn't
saying.
this lineup just is kind of
God.
weird, right?
Well, I
It's
mean,
like-
This is why I
your
can't make hot takes.
your 4-position Monkey King, like Ion shelled up, jumping from tree to tree,
Right.
just creating chaos.
It fits better with the draft than the idea of like a mid-monkey, like triple melee core against Void. Just feels
Yeah,
weird.
exactly.
Maybe they're
exactly.
trying to like bait the matchup, see if they can get like a Viper to come out from
Now
it,
you
and
better
then they grab like
I-
Invoker.
I
mid
will say
instead.
you probably do need to ban OD as OG. Like I worry about OD dumping damage into the Chronosphere.
And right now they also, part of why I love Lich, it's this concept of like double save, right? Yeah, Frost Armor isn't save, but it's close enough. And you combine that with an Astral, it's very easy now to counter-initiate or peel the Lifestealer during Rage, and then all of a sudden he's chronoed, or there's a Rasta shackling him, and an Ursa just
NIP, by the way, thinks that this is going to be a last pick Jerax support, and they have done that. OG have last pick Jerax's hero in half of their drafts in this tournament. They're the only team to have done that.
Nip have no wave clear, and OG have a Darkseer.
Yep.
And a
Oh,
Coddle.
wow.
Good point.
And a Monkey King. They've actually got 3 different heroes
No,
that are
that's not-
exceptionally good at low cost, clearing through creep waves.
That's not a good point. That's the point right now, because you are all in now on Avoid Chronosphere, and you have no way to convert objectives other than the Shadow Shaman.
Yep.
The waves are going to be pushed.
And you can tell Cap's been hanging out with Blitz.
Wave clear.
Wave clear. And
Works in my pubs,
Husker
what do you
baby.
think about Storm Spirit?
Bad hero, man. Ice Frog's just not giving him enough buffs.
Is Oracle still on the table here?
For OG?
Radiant team
Yeah, there
Wow.
you go. There you go.
Very cool.
Yeah, the other thing is you have to. The other thing is you also think about picking the Oracle to protect the Darkseer in case they do something crazy.
Sorry, I just realized. So I was Red Eye's Dumbledore, right? You were 100% Mad Eye Moody. That's part.
Wasn't he a fake?
What? You're British.
No.
How do you not know
Mad Eye-
Harry Potter?
Mad Eye
Mad-Eye
Moody
Moody was a fake.
was a real
Yeah, no, he was
wizard
real,
and
but he got
stuff.
replaced.
remaining.
For one book,
What do you mean?
there were
one book?
sequels.
This is real life.
Okay, let's talk about the actual draft. Is this OD?
Into Oracle, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
It could be a TA, but it's a bit weird against
See,
Darkseer and Monkey.
that's the problem
Ooh.
with the Oracle pick is I think it makes
I think
OD
you
even
Kunkka.
better.
I think you can just Kunkka.
That's true too.
Just
Okay.
give me some cheap catch.
Are we looking for a fatter hero though?
Oh, it's true.
So it'd be like
Fatter?
a Viper. Yeah, exactly.
I think
Well,
OD,
you are
OD
gonna
makes
get,
sense.
you are now going to get that Viper
Or
matchup
Pugna.
against the Monkey King that we thought we were going to have in the last series.
Bristle.
No,
I mean,
he does.
the reason I
Fada
don't-
loves Pugna.
I was
Yeah,
down
he does
for
run
Viper
Pugna as well,
earlier,
yeah.
but the whole wave clear thing
Yeah.
causing me issues. I like Pugna, but then there's the Oracle problem.
DK? I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
he's a DK player, isn't he?
Yeah.
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 I
You got
still
options.
pivot back to OD. I think OD's the best pick here.
There you go.
All right.
Choose your
Nahaz is on fire.
See
Kyle
the
is
smile
literally
he's got right now.
Kyle is literally
Oh my
in
God.
awe right now of the man on the end of the bench.
I don't think he is, Paul, but
That's
I
why
think
he's the defense
he
against the dark
looked at you
arts
with
teacher.
admiration when you called the Oracle.
That's why he's the aura.
True.
That's beautiful, Cap.
Great draft. Cap, thoughts? Where does the power lay?
I don't know, man. I feel like Nip's lineup, it just looks like very slow to me. We've got this Void, OD, not a ton of wave clear. I feel like OG's just got to play faster than them.
Yep.
And OG has been playing, like, they've been playing really well, and they haven't been making tons of mistakes. If this was a different team that we were talking about, if this was, you know, like some of the teams that we've already seen drop out, I would say there's going to be a mistake and Nip will make the comeback. But I don't think OG will make that mistake.
I got to agree. I think that OG's just been playing better. This draft seems to be right in their comfort zone.
Yep.
I look at the Nip lineup, it's like, it's cool, but you have really just odd, what feels like
Disjointed.
errors. Yeah, like your supports are really squishy.
Yep.
There isn't much support for the chrono. OD doesn't really help that much with the wave clear. It could, you know, they'll outscale OG, don't get me wrong, but if they can play as fast as they've been doing early in the tournament, I think OG will take
I think Cap nailed it word for word.
I changed my mind. Get me out. I'm going to the other side.
He doesn't want to ruin
It's going to be a
Hey,
bad laning
he's been on the
phase.
money. You should
Nip
stick
are
with
going to
Alan.
own the laning
Oh
phase,
my
and they're going to keep going.
He's been on the money in this draft. You should stick with him. Right, we're ready, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your seats. A wild ride ahead of us, I'm sure, for us and for the teams as we go into the game with NIP versus OG.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for the final series of the day, and what a series it is. Ninjas in Pyjamas up against OG. I'm OD Pixel. I'll be joined by Fog for this one.
Hello.
We've got the drafts. We've already got some exciting heroes. We have the Void picked up. We've sort of seen some teams dabble with him, but he's not one of the top-tier carries at the moment. NIP, though, they say it will work this time. The panel seemed a little against it. What do you think? Is this a strong Void game?
A shocker. Owen saying, exciting heroes, the Faceless Void. Not something you'd really expect to say, obviously, right? Fun stuff is probably still just the Oracle, right? Oracle from the last series.
We have
He just
seen
looked so good.
Yeah, some crazy Oracle performances.
And Jarek's also in the beginning of the today too. He played a phenomenal Oracle already. And they even mentioned it themselves, right? That when they did the interview, Mad was like, Jarek's Oracle, he's really damn strong on the hero side. So right away, they're starting with a aggro position tri-lane to try to secure the rune. Soxa will actually get it.
Because, I mean, considering the cores that we have on both sides, there's a lot of sort of strong matchups that we'll see go either way in the mid game. You look at things, like the Lifestealer, you say, okay, he's going to get on top of the OD, but then you look at the Void, you're going to say he's going to get on top of the Lifestealer. It sort of goes back and forth between the two teams. So what are you really looking for in the early stages of the game to sort of see one team set themselves ahead of the other? Is there a specific lane that could really go one-sided?
I'm looking to see how much the Noto can protect ILTW, because the last game that I saw this Ursa versus the Lifestealer, KP was able to put so much pressure on him in the laning phase, and he has a Lich to help him too, so I'm watching that top one to see how much NIP can put the pressure onto OG and if they can actually handle it. While on the opposing side, you see OG, they're prioritizing putting the pressure onto the Void a bit, and Void, he'll be able to do just fine down here, farming and sustaining versus that Ion Shell.
And we'll see what sort of build Ace goes for this game as well on the Faceless Void. See if there's going to be that temptation from Midas, as it is seeming to be the Midas age on a lot of these carries. Void may be one that you still want to stray away from the meta Midas build on. We are going to have a little bit of a PPD pause, but of course, talking about the players, what a game in terms of rivalries. PPD versus Seb, one of the age-old international rivalries that will never sell. You know, these guys, they like to keep it professional, but you know that when they're playing against each other, they're going to bring their best.
Oh, for sure. Look at this. We already see a billion tips coming out. Lots of chat wheels. It is what it is.
We've got a bit of a chant coming up for the crowd as well for OG, and good reason to believe in them after what we saw earlier today. But NIP, they've certainly shown in the past that with the right sort of lineup, they can really come in with some star-studded performances, even sort of classic matchups like having PPD on his Lich. this has been a hero that he has played a lot over the last few months.
Yeah, he's playing into a Dispel is the one thing. The Frost Shield is incredibly powerful, but the Oracle is there to be able to dispel that throughout the mid-game and also block out a lot of that magic damage too. That's the one thing, is like this Oracle just seems to be such a threatening hero. In the defensive aspect, of course. I mean, it does do a lot of damage as well once you start getting your levels, but you're more about just, of course, just getting those saves off. And looking into OG, they can actually set the pace pretty hard here. I look at NIP's lineup, and it can be quite slow.
Yeah.
They are very reliant for their damage to be coming out of the Void, as well as the OD being there with both of them. If not, they need the Lich to be like level 6 and be able to throw the Chain Frost inside of the Chrono. Otherwise, they don't really have any damage going inside of it.
Yeah, it's going to get to the point where you look at the cores of NIP and say, what's going to enable them? Sure, they're going to have the Frost Shield, but then you compare that to what JerAx's toolkit can offer, and it just doesn't match how much save the Oracle can provide. And the fact that these two heroes, they already sort of, they can obviously stand toe-to-toe with enemy cores well on their own. You've obviously got the Jingu building up on the Monkey King, the Lifesteal on the Lifestealer. You add any sort of False Promise on top of that onto either of them, you know that they're going to pop out of the False Promise at full HP.
Yeah, like sometimes like versus Chrono is kind of one of those weird ones sometimes with Oracle, because you ult them, but they don't get out of the disable, right?
Sure.
Like,
so they're still going to take a lot of damage.
But like you just said, the situations could happen where you have your Jingus up and you get a Boundless Strike right afterwards, and then the heal kicks in.
Yeah.
Or let's say the Lifestealer finds a target to infest. Boom, it resets, gets that big health after the False Promise and the Chrono. Could be something we have to watch out for. And I think that's, you know, we're talking about how the slow pace of NIP could be a bit troublesome for them. That's why I think 33 is super crucial for them in this game, how much pressure you can put onto this safe lane. A bit of an extended pause, so we have some audio issues.
Of course, one of the strengths with the offlane Ursa, as we have seen previous teams, one performance that comes to mind, of course, when Zai played it offlane for Secret, it very much is this hero that even if, as you say, ideally, you don't want to put pressure in the laning stage, but you can sort of bring yourself back into it. You can turn towards the neutral creeps. It doesn't matter if you don't get any farm, particularly on the hero at the start. It is a hero that we have seen some of these players at this level be able to catch back up on after being zoned out at the laning stage.
This won't be one of those zoning games, though. I mean, he's got just Katowice lifesteal. He's got Lich, and he's in like the dream lane for
sure.
Here.
He's prepared with the regen. He's got 6 tangos in the south. He's, as you say, good to go, good to stay.
I want him to do the. I want him to do the. I think I do want him to do the blink in this game. I know 33. He hasn't really gone for it in most of his games. He's gone like the phase, the Midas, even like a Vanguard, or even like another item before doing.
He does love his drums as well.
Yeah, maybe the drum. I'm still okay with phase drum. I'm still fine with that. I just want him to be able to get an item that'll let him just put the pressure on to give his Void and his OD the time to get their farm up. Because, like you said, it could be Midas gaming for both.
And talking about the OD, so Fada, in an ideal world, this game, is he going to want to get the Midas first, or does he have to get sort of one of those, you know, like the 4-star a little earlier on because of what he's playing against? Or will he be able to get away with the greedier build?
Not too sure, to be honest. I think he might be able. It all depends on how the laning starts go, right? Like if like Ursa's getting shut down, he might be able to get something that can give him a bit of a timing first or earlier, so he can actually get involved. But I think the Midas could be okay.
Once again, just apologies for the pause. Hopefully we will be able to get things underway pretty shortly. Looks like we are just fixing a few of the issues on NIP's side, as it seems. It looks like OG are more than ready to get back on with the game.
Yep. We see that OG had blocked the hard camp as well in that bottom lane when they're doing the, you know, cutting of the waves with the Darkseer. We've been seeing that pretty common now. Whenever you do that, make sure you can't actually fix the equilibrium or pull the, you know, pull the enemy creeps into there and get the extra farm. They want to be able to try to maximize down here and get Seb a good lane.
And is it? I mean, is there any other sort of thing that you, like, who's going to be able to be the more mobile across the map in the laning stage? Like, whose moves are going to be the most crucial? Is there any way we can see sort of ganks onto mid from either side? Are you looking for sort of the Shaman to start leaving his lane, Saxa to get in on top of the Monkey King mid?
I think maybe he could actually, yeah, because you can set up pretty easily. He can set it up with Astrals.
Could just a couple of disables.
I don't think he needs to walk there, but if there's an opportunity where he can set up an Astral and then Sox can TP and then just walk in with the Shackle, I think that's better. But I think he wants to stay down here for a bit just to make sure that they don't like. Because what's going to happen is they're going to cut the wave for a while, right? Until they're level 3 probably on the Darkseer, and then they're going to start pressuring with the Ion Shell rather than just doing the cutting. So he wants to stay down here just to make sure that the Void can get the farm. But yeah, having the TP for the ganks can definitely be there.
And this, because the Void, he is going to get good farm, right? If they cut the wave like this, Ace, he shouldn't really be feeling too bothered about farming underneath the tower.
No, definitely not. It's just once those levels come, right? Because at one point the Darkseer won't just do this. He will play He will play the
He's going to
lane.
get back in the lane
Yeah.
and start and do get the Iron Shell creeps heading in your direction.
Yep.
But at that point, we may see more movements towards that bottom lane to provide that extra bit of backup. We'll see how much PPD feels he's going to be needed in this top lane. Maybe there's going to be a point where 33 is at a stage where he can sort of stand toe-to-toe to this dual lane on his own. As you said already, not really the scariest of lanes for the top lane Ursa. 33 should be able to get away with quite a bit up on this top.
Yeah.
It seems like we are still just having some slight problems with, I'm not quite sure. NLP, they look ready to go.
Yeah, they just said those audio issues, right? So they're just probably making sure. I'm just looking around to see if I missed anything else. I don't really see. Don't see any like sharing of regen or sharing of ring of regen or anything like that. I'm clicking through everyone's items. We have seen some of the games.
Still very early, of course. We've only,
Yeah,
only
a
got
minute
ourselves a minute in. It's not really too much that has happened in that minute.
Yeah, just some,
no sign of a first blood.
Lots of like the blocking of the camps, right? You see PPD but walk to body block the bull camp. They block the hard camp bottom with the ward. So yeah.
I mean, where will we see first blood? Which is the lane?
Where do we see first blood?
Yeah, we're
for
getting to
some
that point.
predictions right
Some
now.
predictions.
Well, I think we should watch for maybe No Tail. Well, maybe that one might be the one. If he steps up too far versus this Lich when Lich is level 2 with the Ursa.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, with the Ursa and the
probably
Lich,
the
if
biggest
they
one.
can get past LTW.
Yeah. I think this top lane is probably.
Well, I mean, for the most part, No-Tail's just going to be sending blasts out from the trees, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, there's
just
no
if he gets
reason for him
found,
to.
Right. He's speedy, but yeah, Lich can. The Frost Blast plus. Well, it's like level 2. When level 2 happens, we'll probably see the pressure come out in the top lane. Looks like Jarex is getting curious. Wait, what is that? How does he have a question?
I don't know. He had a pretty cool emote there.
Is that a medal?
You guys don't see it.
Is that if you're not a? Is that if you don't have a rank yet?
It did. It's the rank medal, but
It's the
without
rank medal, just a question mark though.
And we've got Saxa spamming some in-theme Shadow Shaman emotes. Thompson dropping an OS Frog. So yeah, it looks, as I said, it just seems like we do apparently still have some audio issues with some of the players. But,
so Owen, now we get to ask you, how does this look as a Void game?
As a Void game?
As the professional?
Pretty damn good.
You like it?
I think this is a pretty good Void game. You're
you
playing
don't mind the coddle?
It's 2 melee cores. You're going to get a BKB.
Okay.
And sort of at that point, you're not going to worry too much about it. Sure, the Oracle is annoying, but at the same time, you know, you're going to go for these chronos. You know Oracle's going to save 1. Well, you don't chrono 1 person. You make sure that you always get 2 so that you can just kill the target that's not going to be saved. You're going to have a bit of a poke up the first target. You can expect Jarex to come in with a save because he's not only going to do it quite early. He doesn't need to wait. It's, what, an 8-second false promise duration. It's already going to outdo the duration of the chrono. So, you know, whoever he's going to go on, as you say, afterwards, they're going to be able to boundless strike.
Maybe.
Or have some lifesteal a little bit.
Hopefully.
It's unlikely you're going to be able to disable them further than that unless the Shaman's there to follow your chronosphere up.
What if he just gets Fate's Edict in the chrono?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway,
that could
don't
be
worry.
a very scary one too.
We are, as I said,
There are a
once
couple.
again, we are waiting for some issues to be fixed, but we'll be able to break up a bit of myself and Fog chatting as we will actually send you over to Shiva, who has apparently an interview going with some of you beautiful people out there in the audience.
Yes, I do indeed. I have found some people that are actually from Ukraine, and they're here to support Gambit. But for this match, you're rooting for OG.
Yes, it is. It's true.
But you don't like their draft.
It's questionable from my point of view, but who am I to judge, right?
And you guys, you're the only one, the odd one out. You're going for NIP for that one?
Yeah, I'm for NAP. That's because Void and OD, they are so OP now. Like, I really like their heroes more.
And you kind of like the Jarex Oracle coming out?
Obviously, the last pick of Oracle was stunning, and I also think that the combination between Darkseer and a Keeper of the Light is just unstoppable combination, and I think I've seen like 3 games and they were all wins, so I will say OG should win here for sure.
All right. You get some support there for that as well. A lot of support. I think there's a lot of OG fans out there. I'm so sorry.
I'm in trouble now.
Because you guys are friends as well. So do you guys play Dota together?
Yeah.
Always. Oh. Yeah, we do, and we actually played here as well. There was like a small tournament 3 against 3, And
Did you win?
yeah, we have 2 wins in a row. So.
That is pretty nice, pretty nice. What kind of do you play?
Sorry?
What role do you play?
It's more hard carry or roam. I mean, like carry, roam, whatever. So
Anything that's needed.
All the roles except of mid, actually.
You don't want mid.
No. It's too much responsibility.
So you're never rolling for mid.
No.
Who goes mid for you?
He's a midder. Well,
That is my position, and I prefer playing mid. But sometimes, there is a lot of roles. We have to roll for mid, and then if I don't get the role, I go pick Rubik and lose the game.
We're pretending we didn't hear that. Or do you try to play Rubik, or
It's one of my favorite hero, and I'm trying to be very well on it, and I think I play well, but for some reason we always lose. It just I don't think it's a coincidence, but I hope it is.
But at least you're not doing it intentionally.
actually, the reason he is really bad on Rubik. I played like 100 games. He's on Rubik.
He's lying.
But you guys are still friends, and so it's still going well.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, it's all about the good Dota play and having fun. So this is it.
How long have you guys been playing Dota together?
Together, we've been playing for like maybe up to 2 years, something like this.
And playing professionally, what's like the average MMR?
My MMR is 4,500.
I have the same.
Yeah, around 4,000.
And did you guys meet in Dota 2, or were you already friends before that?
Our friend connected us. He said like, another my friend plays Dota. Maybe you should play together, try it. And we tried, and now we are friends like for, I don't know, 3 years?
Yeah, maybe 4. And I was playing core role always, and he was playing support. And we started playing. There was like, no one was buying a courier. We were playing in CIS region. And he was the guy who was buying courier and wards, which was impressive at the moment. So that's why how we started to play.
That is a really good basis for a friendship. And then you came there also to fill the role, whichever was needed. And he took mid anyway, all the time.
Yeah. And actually, we walked together, actually.
Well, it seems like you guys have a lot of fun. Do you go to more Dota 2 events together?
Sorry, it's such a niha. I can't hear you.
That's okay. Do you go to more Dota 2 events more often?
This is my first event. Yeah.
How about you guys?
I was on Katowice and on Frankfurt, so only ESL tournaments. But I want to be on other tournaments, but my location allows me to be only here.
Well, I've been visiting few Star Ladders tournaments before. They were not DPC season because that was not a thing a few years ago. Yeah, but when it comes to such huge events like ESL one, that's my first experience ever, and I would say it's amazing.
Because there's a lot of people watching at home. Obviously, we're all waiting still for the game to start. And what would you say to people that, it's always like you want to go to a Dota 2 event, but will you really make the decision? What would you say to convince those people that are on the fence to come here and go to a Dota 2 event?
This is super easy. This is like your favorite band, but this is people for people who like Dota. It's like you can listen to music and have fun, but when you're actually there, these emotions, you cannot just tell what you feel. You have to be here and you have to feel it. It's really amazing.
I fully agree. I have the same, because it's day one. We know that the arena is going to still fill up, especially tomorrow, and also for you guys for Secret versus Gambit tomorrow. Hope you come in time. But it's a pretty amazing feeling.
Yeah, it is. Don't know what to say about it.
There is a funny situation. We actually, like we said, we support European teams and in Gambit in particular. But tomorrow one of us will be in Secret T-shirt.
Uh-oh. Who is it?
I will not comment it.
Just keeping some intrigue.
All right. I'll find you guys tomorrow. All right. What we're going to do, I'm going to let you get back to relax before the game begins. And we are going to head back to OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, team. And I've just had word that apparently the game is good to go. I'm not going to believe it until I've seen my screen unpause in front of me, and I can tell you right now it is still paused. So, you know, I don't know how much we trust the ESL production team, but I will trust them.
I see Fada saying wait, though.
Oh, an Hotel drops an okay, but it's still paused. I believe we have been debated by the producer. So we're just waiting apparently for the go-ahead from the boys on NIP, and then we should be able to get back on with the action after this brief pause.
I'm just reading my tips right now.
What have we got? Anything?
If all enemy heroes have vanished from the minimap, maybe they try to slay Roshan or set up an ambush. That's a pretty useful tip.
It's good tips. It's good tips. We've seen many a team recently give up Roshans when they've not realized what's going on.
Yeah. The Guardian Greaves were forged to honor the Omniscience. Ooh.
So apparently we are still good to go soon. Again, big apologies to everybody who's here. You guys and girls are all very beautiful for coming down and watching this event live. And hopefully we can get you some Dota 2 action on very, very shortly. And when we do, it's going to be an amazing series. I'm sure, you know, it's going to be worth the wait.
Looks like they're final testing.
Let's see what's going on. PPD, he puts his hands up. What's going on here? The OG seems still very much good to go. I can tell you there's just been consistent spamming of many audio clips and
lots of celebratory gongs.
Yeah, so it seems to be ILTW's favorite.
He's even typing it now. Notel's actually just typing it at this point.
Notel's being cheap. He didn't buy
chat wheeling it.
This was one that you had to get from the recent...
Yes.
The recent, whatever you call it, the past.
Yes.
The one to do with the Chinese New Year. So it looks like Notel didn't actually get it. So it's a bit of a weak attempt for him to seem cool and join in with the others.
That is true, actually. You're right.
And what we got here? Looks like PPD still having words with the on-stage lads and ladies as we're getting it fixed up.
They said go again. Let's see.
They said go.
NIP.
We're checking if NIP is ready to go.
One more moment, they said.
I mean, OG looked very ready. You can see Notel, he's in the zone. He's ready to kick off. The fingers coming out from PPD. He's pointing at Ace. So we're going to blame Ace for this pause. Thumbs up, yeah.
Thumbs up.
PPD agrees. He says, yeah, it's all Ace's fault.
There we go. We got the
thumbs
okay,
up.
we got the ready.
Oh,
Let's go.
It's counting down. I think we can get the game back on. Just don't show these, but get it back on. Here we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
And as the unpause happens...
Just a short pause.
Thompson secured a range creep last hit and got a range creep deny in the mid lane as that unpause
We're back
happened.
in. The year is 2034. We've got game one beginning. NIP versus OG is back on, and we can see how this one goes down.
So as you mentioned, you know, we watch Notel, and he is literally just spamming in the side lane, making sure that they can not put the pressure on and try to make any dive plays. Just keep that lane pressure pushed away so that if they try to push up, it's a bit scary for them because the level advantage will be there for OG as they are clearing the creep waves faster over and over again.
Interesting stat there, of course, between Seb and PPD. 61% win rate for PPD, but 3 for 3 on LAN between the two. So it was a 3 for 3 LAN win rate at the moment for both of them. We'll see who's able to break ahead in this LAN matchup. So
we'll be able to make it out as well. Double TPs.
Okay, so there's a bit of time though that they're pushed out of the lane. So they can turn back to farming down there on the bottom NIP without any too much worry about OG getting the pressure on. We'll see where Jerox does head, as he's going to decide to, of course, walk back to a lane.
Yep, they've got the boots now on 33. He's still got a lot of regen too. We're going to see Notel now. He starts stepping up, giving a little bit more harassment. But with this Ursa already having those boots, he feels a lot safer up here to be left alone. And they can bring the tri lane to make sure that Ace can not only just secure Ace's farm because he's already farming great, but he's just slow down Seb.
We can see it in the middle lane. Even CS at the moment between Thompson and Fada. I mean, is this expected to be even, or at a certain point does sort of the OD win out because he has got that range factor?
He starts to, after like level 4, I think is the crucial thing for most OD matches.
And sort of the damage is, just too much as a melee hero to stand toe-to-toe with him there.
It's already annoying. Like, you keep getting hit by those, but, you know, you just keep your, especially with the Monkey, you use your Boundless.
Thompson, he does that. He's got the Mischief to dodge one of the Arcane Orbs. Top lane 33, trying to get the stacks up on RTW, but he's also rather low himself. He's got 2 tangos left. He's going to pop one of them. Does still have a salve. But he is getting through that regen with the harassment coming out from Notel earlier on. Notel as well, getting a small camp stacked up, will be able to make a good pull happen.
Yeah, he's going to pull the whole creep wave back. So now that's going to put 33 in a little bit of a more difficult position to get experience, even though he's level 3 with the boots, so he might still be okay. He's also got TP and not having a really stun in that top lane while he's able They'll always be able to get out of there anyway if they make an aggressive move.
Bottom lane, as expected, Ace having no trouble at all. Now we'll start to see it step up a little bit. Seb, of course, as he came back, has come back to the lane rather than looking to continue to skip it. So can start to begin that Iron Shell pressure against Ace's Void. 33 as well, also coming in, trying to get involved with this pull that was being made by N0tail earlier.
Ooh, offensive glyph that was used by the mid lane to stop a range creep last hit, and it will get denied by Topson there. So a couple range creep denies that Topson's gotten there, just by playing aggressive and forcing a spell out of Fada. And Fada's actually running out of mana a bit here. The mischief, you know, that you always have to count that in there. Just the little dodges do add up. That's 33, putting pressure on N0tail up top.
He's coming round underneath the tower. He does get one hit onto RTW, who goes for a poke, TP's out. Just a little bit of aggression there from 33. Has to go back to the base anyway, as he had then eaten through his entirety of regeneration. This bottom, and with the shackles, they do have PPD coming in as well with the slow. Seb, he does not have mana to get out of this one, so he'll fall. NIP take the kill down bottom. Seb sticks around a little too long, a little too low on the health and the mana.
Yeah, he really had no mana. He threw out the last Ion Shell too. I think he just accepted his death and just had to deal with it. They have been stacking a lot of camps. I've been seeing Jerex stacking for the Darkseer. This is something that Darkseers used to do. I know Kyle actually mentioned it a couple times during his casts, that he was talking about this, that he was hoping that people would start doing this, and we are starting to see it now. OG is going to start boosting up that net worth of the Darkseer with these stacks. It's that old school approach.
He's getting a good chase onto N0tail here with the Earthshock slow. A couple more hits would do it, but RTW will slow him down with the open wounds. N0tail turns, charges up a blast. 33 is able to dodge it. He has now drawn the attention of the creep wave and will be able to make the pull. Should be able to get himself away, as yeah, there's no further slow or disable between these two heroes. So 33, actually the wave is going to get interrupted by the neutral creep, so he won't quite be able to grab it all the way back to a safe place to farm. So OG able to maintain lane control for now in that position. Back towards mid, Sanity's Eclipse dropped down onto Topson, will not quite kill him off though, and a quick tip sent back the way of Fada for that failed ult. 5 minutes in, though, and with the free farm Ace has got it, he has got that Midas at pretty record timing here before the 6-minute mark. The absolute dream, as he was able to get it without having to go for any sort of boots or any other item. This is a very, very quick Midas for Ace.
Not even any extra regen or anything. He literally just went straight for it, so.
Yeah, no surprise there at all. Yeah, it is a new record in these 14 matches. Yeah, 27 seconds faster.
And we were talking about how, will we see the double Midases coming out? Will we see the OD also get it? We have seen Fada also queue it up now, too. So they want to be going for that late game, as expected.
I think it's the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
Right, look at their lineup. Their draft is incredibly strong late game. They've got a Void. You always have to be looking at a Void lineup and being like, yeah, they've got the late game secured.
Yeah, you've got a Void, and you don't, I mean, there's not, where's the disable? It's going to pretty much be the Kotl ult that there's going to be a point of the game where Ace has to worry about it the most. For the majority of the time, he is going to be able to sit back, jump in with the Chrono, and it's going to be very hard for OG to put a stop to that sort of Void play. Top lane, looking to dive in onto 33, will get hit by the blast, but it has got the creep wave with him, and also PPD by his side, so ILTW can't dive any further.
Oh, wow, they're putting a lot of emphasis on this top tower, though. Jerex has come over and placed 2 wards, actually, to watch behind the tower and to watch any rotations. So they really want to surround this. And look at this, Topson's even making the rotation over.
Jerex in deep, PPD's there. Topson diving forward, gets the slough onto PPD. PPD will back off. 33 has got the Frost Shield upon him. Topson, he's going deep for this with the Boundless Truck. Will get the Jingle Mastery stacks up. It was bringing him with the Sinister Gaze, but he gets one more hit off to get the kill. And OG will get both of those there with that aggressive play, sweeping round behind that tier 1 tower very early on.
They're going for this extremely greedy items on both the OD as well as the Void. They don't even TP to try to respond to help out their allies there. They just accept the dive that is going to happen, and they're going to try to get something out of it on their own. They're going to try pressuring the mid tower a bit here and just continuing the farm.
And talking about the opposite of those greedy items, Mr. ILTW, who's going for the old school on the Lifestealer. Phase into Armlet. No Midas today, ladies and gentlemen, for this Lifestealer.
That is a very good point, yeah. He's got it finished up already.
He's got it. He's got the Armlet on its way. Yeah, he has. Yeah, right. He's got the helmet as well.
He'll have it soon.
He'll have it soon.
Yeah. Topson staying around the top lane, as we mentioned, you know, versus that OD. He doesn't want to stay in the lane anymore. It gets pretty problematic as Fada has pulled ahead.
Boundless. Keep forward, Topson. Continuing to poke and prod, but as we say, with RTW going towards this Armlet, very much indicating that they want to play a much different pace of game compared to what NIP are bringing to the fray. And we'll see if it pays off. I mean, as you mentioned earlier, if OG's lineup does start to steamroll that little bit quicker, you reckon it's going to be quite hard for NIP to slow it down?
Yeah, should be. The thing is, they do have the Lich. The Frost Shield can always slow stuff down. But that's the way NIP wants to play this game. They want to slow the pace down. They want to take this to the later stages. That's why they're going to get multiple Midases.
Very interesting stat there as well. Lich and Void 6 times this patch. Hasn't lost a game. Hero combination.
Old school classic. But this now it's even better because just Lich is a billion times better of a hero. As it's going to be the double farming, by the way, for Ace. If you saw, the Battle Fury was queued up, so... And he's committed.
Oh, this is the right build.
And he's committed already for it.
This guy knows. Midas and Battle Fury, that is absolutely how you want to do it. It's full greed, but if it works, if you can get the payoff is huge. He is going to be incredibly farmed come sort of the 20-minute mark, but he's got to get there. And in 10 minutes' time, maybe OG's put the game in a state where this sort of Midas Battle Fury looks a little weak. We'll see. We'll see if they can create the space, keep the game going at a level state to allow this Midas Battle Fury build to pay off on Ace.
OG needs to get the ball rolling with kills, though. That's the thing. As you look at their lineup, it's not like they get the ball rolling with kills into towers, into objectives and stuff. They don't take objectives very well on their lineup.
We're going to see a TP up to the top here from the Shaman. Maybe see if they can get on top of ILTW. ILTW does have No-Tail heading in for PPD. Start to slow down No-Tail a little bit with the Frost Shield.
3 bounties for NIP.
And also Fada able to grab the double damage ring.
I think he's got his... does he have his Midas finished?
He's got it done.
They've got both of their Midas finished.
They're hitting these Midas timings. So
Very
far, 10 minutes in, you've got a lineup with 2 Midases, and they're even in net worth with the opposition. And OG themselves, they're not going for any Midases at all. So at the moment, you've got to kind of say, well, NIP's plan, it's working out. 10 minutes in, there's only been 3 kills. This sort of passive slow game is going to be fantastic for this Void and OD.
Yeah, especially when they have a Tricore. It's like it's a Void and OD. But there's also an Ursa thrown in there, too, who can also have quite an impact, especially when you're playing versus a hero like Lifestealer.
Yeah.
That's what Ursa likes to play versus. That's why they picked it. So it looks like they are going to start making rotations down bottom. Armlet is finished.
They've got to do stuff with this. If you're getting the Armlet on the Lifestealer, we have to see ILTW play it in an entirely different way to how we've been used to watching Lifestealers play with the Midas Radiance builders. Bottom lane, they're going to hunt for him with the wall drop down. They'll find him with a Boundless Strike, because Ace has been caught on top of. He's got a Time Warp back up in a second. Will be able to dodge the blast, but wide they go, clearing out the trees there with the Will-O-Wisp. They'll find Ace. He's got another Time Warp, but he won't get a chance to use it as the Purifying Flames finishes him off.
You'll forget how many trees that ulti really does cut. It just clears everything.
The deforestation is real. It's back towards mid. Saxa shackling to open up on Jax. Jax gets the chance for the false promise. And Saxa and PPD will have to back away. Down bottom, ILTW looking for the chase down onto Fada. He's got the open wounds. Thompson's there with the Boundless Strike. The blast as well. Fada is gone. OG making these moves around the map as a team. They're playing, as I say, this Lifestealer role totally different to how we're used to seeing it, and it's starting to help them get in positions where they can look to take these early objectives.
Mid lane, looks like they're going to set up for Jerax here quite easily. So they'll have to pick that up. I'm not too sure why Fada was bottom, trying to defend after that whole surround happened.
Nice day. I've got to feel a bit bad for them. Didn't get a single bash, though, on the Void. So a little unlucky there for Ace, but he doesn't mind. Did the job, got the kill. We saw him be able to save a little money as well down bottom where he died by the side shop. He was able to buy the treads just as he died. So managed to minimize gold loss there. It does obviously mean he's going to have to wait a little longer to finish off that Battle Fury. Got 1100 gold at the moment. Saxa and PPD there by Ace's side, so ILTW not able to lead anything in. They might see an opportunity to go on Saxa if Saxa sticks around in the middle lane, but looks like he's playing it safe. He realizes that if ILTW shows, very likely that Thompson's going to be behind him because of how OG are playing.
And just because of how OG's been playing, just the way Thompson's been playing on this Monkey King, he's a lot more active. That's just the style that he's been playing for quite a while now too. And NIP, they're setting up now in the mid lane.
They are. They have got a Chronosphere as well, so they're more than happy to try and fight. ILTW pops the Rage. Ace, he's got the Chronosphere down onto the 2 cores. Jerax is outside of it, doesn't have false points. In fact, Jerax walks into it, so he hasn't got anything to throw out straight away. The Sanity's Eclipse comes down. The Shackle's there as well to control ILTW. They'll kill the Lifestealer. See if they can find anything else. 33 still trying to poke, will now have to back off. Seb also dropped down the wall, so a few ults traded, but NIP get the kill on the Lifestealer and lose nothing themselves.
A lot of ults committed, the Serpent Wards as well, so they can actually push up and get an objective out of it. It's down to 200 HP, but the Oracle ulti, Jerax having to force out himself to save himself. It's a 100-second cooldown
they
on
read
level 1,
that
so
time.
they didn't have it up still.
Yeah, NIP knew, and they were quick to make a move to punish that. There's mid lane, seeing if they can catch up PPD. Boundless strike from Thompson. Surge forward. Fada will be able to hold him back. They've popped the Will-O-Wisp down. It clips onto Fada for now. They're blasting back into it. Do they have the damage and control to kill him though? They've got to be careful because 33 turns up. Seb has to surge himself away. Back towards the mid. Shackles out onto Jerax. He's underneath the tower. Pop the false promise onto Thompson. But Ace jumps forward. Beats down on the Oracle. They've had the Astral as well to contain another potential kill as they hold back Thompson. Thompson will burst to the damage as NIP hit back to the aggression of OG and now get themselves on top slightly in the net worth. They're not being punished for these Midases despite how hard OG are trying. OG cannot get ahead for now.
And they showed up with everybody. They see OG, they're like, all right, you're going to bring 4 or 5 heroes. We'll bring 4 or 5 heroes too. They're still very powerful, even if they don't have their ultimates, because OG didn't have their ults either. And they committed very far for that dive.
It's got to be a little bit of a worry for OG if they're not getting away with the entirety of these sort of aggressive plays.
You see Thompson's net worth. He's bottom 5. He's about 1,000 gold behind the Ursa, which is the off lane for NIP. And we will see it's 33 is doing the phase drum, and he's just going to go for the Bastion, the build that he's been doing instead of going for that blink. They're getting away with the Midases, so he doesn't need to be making plays. He can just play responsive like the way he has been versus OG. As NIP. They are setting up for a smoke. They have Serpent Wards available, so they want to try to get a tower off of it this time.
Yeah, they've even got the Chronosphere back up in 20 seconds. Yep. We'll be up sort of 10-second window where there's no false promise, but you'd imagine that it is highly likely that Jerax will have it back up by the time they actually find a play to be attempted. They're trying to see if they can kick things off here, but they don't get on top of NIP. They know that they can't just jump on them. NIP's lineup, it's pretty scary, as you say. Even though they have these Midases, it's not an easy 5v5 at all for OG to take. They sort of had to rely on catching out NIP 1v1. Saxa, he's ready to farm. He pops down the Serpent Wards to clear out an Ancient stack. He doesn't even care. He knows that this game's feeling pretty comfortable for NIP. They're getting away with the greed.
Yeah, it's a farming game. That's what this one's going to be, at least from the side of NIP mostly. We see OG, they're going to be doing, this is the old build that we saw Matumba Man do a lot of times when he was playing the Lifestealer for Liquid, actually mid lane first, 33, getting gone on.
That's got the Enrage. Put down the Will-O-Wisp. They will be able to drag him back a little bit. The Enrage wears off, but he's out of the range of it. On the high ground, Thompson is looking for a Wukong's command opportunity. Now pop it out, see if he's got the follow-up control onto them, but he hasn't. As again, NIP just walk out of the teamfight ultimates. Now they'll turn with the shackles down onto Seb. Seb, he'll fall, burst down by the Ether Shock. They've lost the Darkseer, and they still have that Chrono NIP, so if they find anyone else to catch, they'll go for it. But again, it's OG with these 5 heroes focused on this area in the mid lane. NIP react.
5 heroes.
You got to ask yourself, what are OG trying to do? They're coming in with the Will-O-Wisp, the Wukong's command. They're just walking out of it, NIP. OG just can't start the fight that they're hunting for.
Like we mentioned, though, they want to force the issue. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to. NIP is prepared for it on every single one of those fronts. Time after time. And I was mentioning, you know, the Lifestealer, he's going for a different type of build. Like we mentioned, it's a lot of times like that Midas Radiance. He's going back for an old school build. The Armlet into the Desolator. Because they don't have that tower push. They don't have that objective taking like we're mentioning. This allows the Lifestealer to kind of be that.
I say it's a risk to take going for this build. There is
is
a reason why that Midas Radiance has become the build that you're used to seeing every game on a Lifestealer. Top lane, they'll find an opportunity to jump in onto Thompson. They've got the Chrono into all the lockdown that they need from Saxa. A Hex and a Shackle will mean no chance for Thompson to get out of this one. And again, getting a little unlucky with the bashes. Takes a lot of time to kill him, but it's so much lockdown between these two. If there's no one else behind Thompson, there's no chance he gets out.
And it's a Battle Fury now for Ace. Midas, Battle Fury, treads 17 minutes. Nice. Also level 13 already on the Void.
Oh, it's beautiful. He's going to be so fast.
Yeah, lineup that scales so incredibly well in the late game, already off to an incredible timing as PPD looks like he will be the sacrifice here as gets a D ward, but he will die.
He will, slowly but surely. And Jerax says, hurry up, RTW. I'll take that one from you. You're able to get the kill secure with the Purifying Flames.
PPD tips him too.
So they will finally get a tier 1 tower, but it really does feel 18 minutes in. OG, they've been trying to do this. They've only taken 2 tier 1s away from a very farm-heavy lineup, which is the same amount of towers that NIP have now managed to take, as they will take the top, as they've also taken the middle. No surprise here. 1:41 seconds faster than average. You can imagine as well in those average games, that's probably Void without a Midas. Yeah, this is a Void with a Midas into the Battle Fury. If you can get away with a Midas at that quick timing, sure, it will help you accelerate the build. But it's a risk that not a lot of Void players want to take.
And the really nice thing about these Midases is sometimes, I mean, not most of the time it is really good because it's on these core heroes, but it's on 2 heroes that need attack speed.
Oh, yeah.
OD and Faceless Void, they lack attack speed a lot of the time, so this will be very excellent for them to just get scaled up from that. His 40 attack speed is so much.
We'll see towards the mid again. I mean, I feel like we've been here before. OG with their 5 heroes just trying the best to take this tier 1 tower. Froshel, we down. They do get denied as well by Fada.
You see how 33's playing this? Since he went this phase drum build, and you look at the rest of his lineup, they're fairly squishy besides him. He's just acting as that frontliner. He's like, hey, come at me and go. Because if you go on me, I have Enrage, and not only do I have Enrage, I have an Astral behind me too. I have multiple ways to save me, and also Frost Shield too, in case OG does try to make the threat. So he's just standing there parking himself in front of the towers.
ILTW does now have the Desolator complete.
He does.
So if they can get him on top of an opponent, he does do, of course, a lot of damage, considering this point. Again, 19 minutes, having the armlet, the Desolator. But that's the problem, sort of getting him on a target. There's a lot of things that they've got to be careful about, a lot of saves.
They have the Infest, though. That's the nice thing about the Monkey King. He does give you another avenue of just getting on top of units in the fight, but
there's so many. NIP, they're prepared for this every single time. The Shackles is going to be there to open. The Will-O-Wisp will be knocked down as they'll pull in Sax and Fada. The Vacuum as well. They've killed off Sax, so Will calls command down to Fada, stuck in the middle of it. He'll go for the defensive Astral, but OG should have a good shot of finishing him off as well as they do. This time, OG will come out top with the trade. They're able to look for the fight. NIP were sort of pseudo-prepared for it. They were hanging around, but they weren't able to turn it.
And with the Deso build, you can maybe even try for Roche. It looks like they were questioning doing it. They walked in for a second, but yeah, never mind. They changed
still wouldn't be that quick, though.
Yeah, it makes it a bit
And there's
faster,
still a
though,
Chronosphere.
Yeah, exactly.
It's spooky. But I could, yeah, as you say, considering how close it is, they would have definitely considered sort of extreme plays like that.
In the next couple situations, if another fight happens, if they get some kills, if they see the death timers are longer, then they can maybe, or if they find a DD outside the pit. But this time it was down bottom. But yeah, NIP, they were caught off guard there. They did not expect all the heroes there, and they actually started spam pinging the high ground as if it was OG who had a ward, but it was NIP who did. So it was just very quick reaction by OG and just the combo. Darkseer plus Willow.
And sort of managing to get the OD on the front. That's at this point of the game, that is the majority of the damage that NIP want to be pumping out. Having Fada in a position where he can start smashing them with the Arcane Orb.
They might have to switch to go for BKBs. Yeah, okay. They just queue them up. So switch to go for BKBs to be able to deal with the Will-O-Wisp, because Coddle is still that monster inside the mid game. In the laning phase, it can be a little bit slow because you're just kind of pushing the lane out to get help your carry farm. But once that mid game hits, the Will-O-Wisp. That's why this hero has been seeing so much attention.
I mean, yeah, because as you say, with especially having the Ursa, you pop a BKB, you pop the Overpower, that's going to be the Will-O-Wisp dead.
Yeah,
it's going to be gone.
Yeah, I think it's triple BKBs queued on all cores actually for NIP. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I saw it was being switched a bit between the Manta on the Void, but yeah, they're all just queuing up the BKBs to deal with that. And now, it's OG. They're just going to start poking the Roche.
All right, well, NIP, as you say, if NIP do become aware of this, they have got good fight around the pit. They have the Chain Frost, they have the Chronosphere and the Sanity's Eclipse. But it does look like OG are getting away. It's already at half HP, and no really from NIP in that area of the map. And yeah, this is always huge. You're taking Roshan away from a team that's ahead of you, but also a team that has an Ursa. For the Radiant side, they want to be getting Rosh, and the NIP aren't going to have a chance to do so, as OG will take it. They'll get themselves Roshan and get the Aegis on ILTW.
It seemed like, I mean, they weren't pinging or anything, but it seemed like they almost knew. The way they were just like, all right, let's take a tier 2, and they're just farming.
Yeah,
like,
but
they
it's
didn't
still
have any
weird,
intent
though.
to even try to contest it.
Because of how well they can fight around the pit, but again, maybe it's just the confidence. NIP know that they're still 4K ahead. They know that it's maybe a risk that they don't really need to take. Sure, they have an Aegis. Is that going to make a difference in the fights? Maybe not, because of the team fight that NIP have with the Chronosphere.
I think the call might just be, wait for BKBs. I don't want to fight this.
Yeah.
We'll win this game if we get to late game and we have our BKBs, we have our immunity. We have the scaling factor. We don't need to take these super risky plays. Keep farming, make OG make the mistakes, not us. But now with that Aegis timing, let's see what OG can capitalize on.
And they really do have to, because Ace getting very close to having the BKB. Not only that, but the level 18, that extra point in the Chronosphere. It's going to be even harder to deal with the extra amount of control that's going to offer in the team fights. That's 222 CS on Ace in 23 minutes. He is having the Dream Void game. Sure, he's died the once, but getting away with the Midas Battle Fury, he has had all the farm in the world.
And they can just keep stalling, like we mentioned. They have the Frost Shield, so every single time, PPD, when he feels safe, he'll walk up, put that on the tower to slow down the push, and just keep buying themselves some time as Ace just continues to farm it up, and he'll have the battle, he'll have the BKB pretty much done.
BKB on him and on 33, ready to attend these fights. OG are getting away with taking this tier 2. They won't look to fight yet. They'll concede that tower. Ping's coming out towards the top as well from OG. They've got the creep wave moving in nicely. So really starting to sort of shut down top half of NIP's map, getting these towers, and with no confrontation at all for now. Now we are going to see NIP begin to move out. See if they have any sort of smoke. They do have those BKBs, as you mentioned.
It has to come all the way out on the courier, though, before they can try to go to it. And also, fighting into a high ground here, this type of positioning here versus a Monkey King and a Willow, and a Will-O-Wisp, even if you have those BKBs, can be a bit scary. Sure, the Will-O-Wisp won't matter, but the Monkey King still definitely will, especially because he just picked up that, well, he just picked up the Echo Saber a bit ago, so his damage is pretty high.
Thompson, he's going to start poking at 33. We'll drop the Wukong's command. 33 pops the BKB. Is he able to, and he's able to easily walk out. In fact, just goes for the Invis Rune and a TP away. Knows there's nothing else to hold him back. Yep. So an ult cooldown traded for a BKB charge.
NIP's just all about stall, right? Stall the game. Wait for that third BKB, wait for Aegis to go away, and then they can look to take fights versus this OG lineup. But Saxa steps a bit far forward, but he will get the Hex on ILTW.
So PPD trying to drag a ILTW in. ILTW, he's going to go for it with the Rage. Looks towards PPD, but even with that Armlet and the Deso against the Frost Shield, it's just not enough damage. Now they'll turn back towards him with the Shackles.
He's coming.
Fada's going to come in, start to get somebody in. They have the Hex too. He needs some help here. He's got the Rage back up. Ace has gone in with the wraparound. Time dilation onto N0tail as he's trying to focus for the easier kills. N0tail pops the Will-O-Wisp down, but the bashes come through. Ace, he's killed off the Keeper of the Light. Saxa still being kept alive. There's the Chrono from Ace onto the 2 on the side. The Cleave as well, cutting through them. Sanity's a glitch. Drop down. They've lost 2 on OG. They've lost the Aegis on LTW. The Shackles onto Seb. Seb will fall. They'll almost certainly be able to go and kill LTW a second time. He has got the Rage. He's looking for Fada, but Fada with the Astral will keep himself safe. RDW is trying to turn towards Saxa, but Saxa still has the mana to turn with the Shackles. OG get team wiped.
Oh my. OG going high ground like that, trying to kill the Lich. I mean, PPD just baited ILTW there, and then all of NIP surround to the point where I saw 33, he isolates Jerax. We'll probably see it on the replay in a couple seconds. He isolates Jerax on the far right of the fight, and it's 2 different fights being taken, and they pretty much don't have their Oracle. That was very nicely taken by NIP.
It really does feel like this game, OG, they sort of shot themselves in the foot with the way that they wanted to play. I mean, you could sort of see the idea, but the fact that 10 minutes in, the kills, it was what, 1 to 2, and there was 2 Midases on NLP's lineup. ILTW is going for this old school phase, Armlet, Desolator build. So here it's always going to be hard for them.
We can see on the mini-map, you see how the way 33 is playing, you see Jerax on that right side, so he goes, isolates the Oracle while the fight's happening on the left side. So Oracle, he can't actually look to save a target. So you see Thompson is spam pinging himself. He's like, hey, I need a save. But Jerax is like, I can't. I have to save myself. They stack up. Boom. Chrono catches 2 of them. Just, OG just a big misstep going for that, high ground.
I just noticed that as well. To add to the carnage, not only 5 heroes dying, but the courier dying as well. 33 was also able to find that in the fight. It did have the 4-star recipe on for the Keeper of the Light. So N0tail's going to have to live a little longer without having that completed force.
It's feeling
so
difficult now.
It really is. It's a slow game. It's a carefully calculated game from NIP. At 26 minutes, it's only 12 to 8 on the kills, but 11k ahead. Their builds have paid off, and it's just going to take some colossal misplays from NIP, really, it feels, at this stage, to allow OG to get back in. Or, of course, some of that OG TI magic to also kick in. Maybe there's something that OG can pull off, but it's going to be... It looks almost impossible.
Absolutely. I mean, into all the BKBs, it really does feel like
Hex comes out to drop the Serpent Wards as well. ILTW does have the backup from the False Promise, but they've already lost N0tail. Thompson trying to look towards Ace. Ace has been disarmed. He's not messing around, though. Ace drops the Chronosphere. They managed to catch out Thompson. Thompson is dead. The Hex out as well as the Shackles. Chain locking down ILTW as once again, OG just getting slaughtered by NIP. 4 dead this time. Jerax will be the... at least a survivor for OG, but it really feels like OG's just throwing themselves against a brick wall.
Yeah.
As NIP look to well and truly have had their number this game. They knew exactly what to do.
They made the greed work.
They
made
really
it work perfectly. The way that they played it, they went for the Midases. The way that they responded is the biggest thing for me. 33 had a good game in the top lane, and he just showed up to every single situation. Well, pretty much all of NIP did show up, but 33 was parking himself right at the front of the towers, and he's like, hey, come at me, OG.
N0tail, he's been found. Sinister Gaze from PPD drags N0tail in. 33 will get on top of him for the damage, and the call is dead. As this game now, NIP with the lead that they have, they're like, all right, guys, we can start to push ourselves now. We feel that it's in a pretty safe place. As I say, NIP is going to have to make some big mistakes to let this one slip away from them, as they are just so far ahead. Ace nearly hitting 20k net worth at 28 minutes in. He's pretty much doubling the net worth of ILTW's Lifestealer.
I always look at net worth, and then you always look at experience afterwards, and the experience is insane this game. It is over 25,000 experience lead for NIP as well. So just because of all those successful fights, and also even having those Midases, right? They just have such a big level and gold advantage.
I don't know what they do. This is, I mean, one of the more sort of slower, more painful one-sided games we've seen.
Methodical. Just NIP having great control of the map when they're showing up the fights. They only had that one fight top where they had go in OG's favor, and then from there, they've just been positioned excellently. They always have, look at this, 33 is always the one just showing his face in the front. They're hiding the rest of the heroes behind him.
33, just get disarmed, trying to munch through him, but with the frost shield, it's more than fine. Quick Hex comes out. Ace does have a Chronosphere if he sees a chance to jump in and go for a fight. But still, it very much is. It's all up to NIP whether they fight or not at any of these points in the game. They know there's no pressure to do so. The game's fully in their control. There's a full butterfly done.
Yeah.
And Ace is just absolutely huge. Nearly level 23. He's going to be on track to hitting a very quick level 25 this game.
And it's crazy. We're still seeing, right? 44 fast in this patch is fastest. And you can imagine that he did not have all these other items in his inventory when he did get those butterflies. Level 22 at this 30-minute mark on this Void. Having an excellent game. 329 last hits is OG.
Fada. He's going to go for a bit of a setup. You're going to have Ace jumping on the back lines. Will get caught out by the Will-O-the-Wisp, but he's not messing around as he pops the BKB. The shackles are there to hold down ILTW. That's the carry gone. No Tail dead as well. NIP, at this point, they're just making it look like they're a team that's 18k ahead of 30 minutes. They're making it look easy.
Yep.
As Jerax, he's not getting home tonight. TP gets cancelled by the Hex. Thompson, I mean, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. He's going to die, I think. As, yeah, he can't jump out. The swipes are stacking up. Jackals are there from Saxa, and Thompson will also die. As this game, I mean, we heard there's some OG fans in the audience. This has got to be a bit of a rough one for them. This is not sort of OG's finest showing.
Still only says an 87% win rate on Dota Plus, but it's feeling.
I mean, they are TI winners.
More like
I think that's their sort of that's the TI winning status. They're sort of giving them the 13% there.
Like
as if it's any other team, Valve is certainly giving this 100% to NIP at this point.
Yeah, this is definitely looking pretty much impossible for OG unless they get some kind of even if they get some miraculous combo, I still can't even see them. It's pretty much like Ace has to chrono his team inside of a Wukong's command or something like that.
They've got to go for some incredible chrono whiffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, five-man chrono on his own team, I should say. May just do it. May just give OG the chance to get back in.
Yeah, it looks super difficult. Their damage is just completely limited. They've got a DD rune now on the Lifestealer. But even then, there's just this Void is almost level 24. Yeah. He's gonna have a Manta finished up on top 2. He's got 24 armor and 1800 HP. So.
Smoke up from NIP. Trying to sort of bait with Vada at the front. But at the same time, OG, they know that that's not really a target they can jump on. Ace, he's going to go to the Time Warp forward straight away onto No Tail. He's just running down the Keeper of the Light. No Tail gets beaten down in a couple of hits by Ace. The jump up towards the side. ILTW getting hit down by 33. He's trying his best to run. The Rage will wear off. Fada turns with the Sanity's Eclipse. Buybacks are coming out from OG. But they can't do anything. And Ace, he's going to jump forward. He's still got a chrono. Won't find the opportunity to hit the two of them, so he'll hold on to it for now. Saxon's got the shackles onto Seb. 33 will come and help finish him off. Seb is dead. As they're still holding him for now. They're not quite tapping out yet, OG.
They still got a Chronosphere as well on NIP. Ace has been holding it this entire time.
He hasn't needed to use it that whole fight. As Saxon, shackles are there, Chronosphere's out, Ace jumps in with the BKB. That'll be a dead Oracle for 70 seconds. Godlike on the Faceless Void. The Wukong's command is down, but the BKB out from Ace will allow him to stay alive. He's got another Time Walk available as he gets out. They did lose PPD, so OG were able to get a kill. Cost them 3-4 buybacks though, and they won't be able to find anything else.
4 buybacks for that one. It's the perfect position Wukong's command, but he's just not farmed enough for really to do that much. He has a Halberd and an Echo Saber. He's not this super farm Monkey King. 26K gold lead still.
Can they break this record? The biggest LAN throw being a 23.5K. So this will be a new record here at LAN if this game does end up going OG's way.
I do not see a lot of games that get close to that 45,000 XP lead, and they almost have a 45,000 experience lead.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Ace, as we saw, he is level 25. Bottom lane, they'll find the Monkey King Thompson. They'll turn into a tree.
Oh, look at that. It's an astral tree. I've actually not seen that.
It's a dead Thompson once again. Full Abyssal Blade done on 33. The items just continuing to roll in for those on NIP. 33, he'll be able to look for an easy Roshan. Into the pit he goes. Ace is there to help finish it off with him. As OG, they will, as I say, they still hold on to the tier 3 towers. They still hold on to the barracks.
That's got to be one of the earlier level 25 voids we've seen in ages.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be one of the fastest. I know we have item timings. I don't know if we have level timings, but it's got to be up there.
Yep. As they go for it.
Shackled. OG's trying to come in for the wraparound. They will drop the Will-O-Wisp. There's going to be a buyback straight away from Thompson to try and help the team out here. Ace turning towards LTW. The Abyssal Blade down onto the line. The LTW is dead. 3 dead. GG is called as OG will finally put an end to the beating as NIP just absolutely beat them around this game. There was, wow. I mean, NIP, they act. I don't know if we're going to be seeing much more armlet Lifestealer. It seemed like a failed experiment, this game. It did not work out for OG. NIP played this patch. OG tried to bring something from the past, and it just didn't cut it against NIP.
I mean, NIP they showed up to every single defense that OG tried to fight, and even if they had those Midases, they still were very comfortable. They just, OG in the laning phase did not come out ahead as they wanted to.
That was, I mean, it was scary from NIP just how solid that performance looked. It really looked like this game, NIP's approach with the draft and the way that they played, the way that they itemized, just it was not matched at all by OG. Both teams came into this game with an idea of how they wanted to play, and OG's just looked at it. You know, NIP's was the rock to NIP's to OG's scissors. It just got destroyed.
Yeah, and I look at the damage numbers. I see like 20,000 on Ace, 20,000 on 33, 20,000 on Fada. On the side of OG, they each did about like 10,000. So their damage was just like super restricted because of the way that the team fights were taken, and NIP just getting a good read of the map. Always responding properly.
Well, as I say, we know at least that OG, they definitely can show us better than that. They have done so in the past many times, and they have done so in the past against NIP. But this game one is going to be one that OG is going to be trying to wipe from their minds, as this was just ninjas in pajamas all round the clock. What a game one from NIP, as they'll take the lead in this best-of-3 series at the moment.
Congratulations to NIP. Job not done just yet, though. It's a best-of-3. Chance for OG to come back, of course, in game number 2. Let's break it down on the panel. We've got Nahaz, Kyle, and Capitalist alongside to bring you their thoughts on what was, Alan, a very one-sided game, but not until it kicked off, and it kind of felt like NIP were just waiting. It's been very patient. As soon as OG fought into him, it was team wipe after team wipe after team wipe.
Well, they could afford to be. I mean, you talk about that 25-minute team fight, which was kind of the story or the turning point in the game, but OG were on the clock because of those Midases. You look at, in this patch, Lifestealer 55 and 40 with the Hand of Midas, only 12 and 14 now without. And don't just look at the win rates, look at the sample sizes. Lifestealer is building Midas in 80% of his games. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, that's the 7th fastest Midas on Void all time in Pro Dota 2. NIP gave themselves that late game leeway with their itemization.
Kyle, I mean, it's easy after the fact to say that was the wrong thing with the Lifestealer, but why go that way? What was the thinking, do you think, behind it?
I don't know if I think it's more NIP's items that play a part in the way this game goes. A lot of people feel like, you know, you look at OG, they're going to play this high tempo lineup, and that's also why he's not going for the Midas. But NIP, by buying Midases, by investing in their late game, that's what puts OG on the clock. They're forced to take these poor engagements because they know that if they wait, NIP will inevitably win the game. We saw Forward play Mineski in that game too to stave off elimination. Forward, they went Drums Yasha, MKB on Jug. The Leshrac didn't go Arcane Boots. The Timbersaw went Pipe Greaves. Because of this, even though they had theoretically the better late game, they're the ones that now feel like they're on a clock. Whereas if they can just sit on their lead, it's so much easier to play the game. The enemy side will be forced to make mistakes because otherwise they know they'll inevitably lose.
And we saw that too. We saw how NiP were just like trying to barrel down mid over and over again, trying to take that tier 1 tower. I think it also helped in this case that, you know, you just had some pretty good lanes for NiP, that they didn't lose the laning phase. They actually did very well. They had strong matchups pretty much everywhere you look. So in that regard, like if you exit the laning phase, you're looking good. Your Midas timings are going to be fine. Then all you have to do is just make sure you don't lose that like 15 to 25 minute window. And what I really appreciated was NiP were willing to like just play conservative in their movement.
Exactly.
They were willing to group up in that mid lane and say, hey, we're not going to get picked off. We're going to try and stem off this tier 1 tower. We're not going to let you run over us.
It's a really good point because you can afford, because of this early investment, to be conservative as a squad. You can ditch a support here.
Yeah.
You can over-rotate, buy time, because you know that no matter what, you're never actually going to be falling off. And I look at the way OG laned this. You know, you last picked Jerax as hero. They didn't have a Darkseer partner. Yeah. So how is this lane meant to actually apply any sort of pressure when you're playing into a void, but you have no partner to go with this Darkseer? It just felt very awkward. And you know, you look at the draft in retrospect, obviously hindsight's 2020, but where's like the catch from OG? They have one stun.
That's a
and
boundless
it's the Monkey
strike.
King.
Full stop. Right. That's what I was exactly what I was going to say is by rounding out the draft with that Darkseer Oracle combo, you leave yourself so light and disabled. So many of those early engagements around 13, 15 minutes when OG was trying to punish these Midases, they would drop their big team fight ultis and NIP just run away.
Yeah, you know, it's like you replace those heroes, right, with just standard like stuns. Just give me some stuns. Give me a Centaur.
Yeah.
And how about an Earth Spirit, you know? If you're going to go this Darkseer, why not take the partner first? Because the Earth Spirit, like my favorite hero to watch Jerax play, that combos with 4 or 5 offlaners easily. Oracle after the Darkseer, it's just weird. Unless you're trying to deny pick it, but you know that NIP is going to go for a mid. They have Rasta Lich picked already.
Right. It didn't take me hindsight. I had foresight. Kyle and Alan agreed on something. I knew immediately there were spidey senses going off. I was like, nope, abort, get out.
All right, we're going to get more from all three of you. I'm going to talk patience in a minute with you as well. First off, let's check in with Purge.
Hey guys,